The game of Dungeons and Dragons has been around since the early 70s. It's played by an estimated 5 million people.
One critic of the game also feels that Dungeons and Dragons promotes Satanism.
There's a book called None Dare Call It Witchcraft, who said it's the most cleverly packaged presentation to the occult ever made.
My friend got called a cult leader by a teacher at one point in time. We never said Dungeons and Dragons or even D&D out loud when we were at a restaurant or something because we didn't know who might hear that. It's taken me years before I felt comfortable even saying those terms in an environment where not everybody was playing D&D.
The manufacturer makes some interesting notes on this. It warns the players not to get themselves confused with their character roles. And it says that the point of this game is not winning and it's not killing. It's having the adventure.
I certainly think it's ironic that I, as someone who is running a church ministry professionally, am using D&D when there was a time where the churches were the ones who were trying to get D&D out of people's lives.
Well, is there anything you want to do now that everybody's awake?
I hope that that shows that there are churches that are maturing in their understanding of what spirituality means and what spiritual threats really look like.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to switch our notebooks because I also have Ilia's notebook.
I definitely was, not to be cliche, but I was definitely like sort of figuring out where to go when the pandemic hit. Just based on the people I've met, it definitely changed me in that way because I would be totally different if I'd never met them.
After this ritual, we're kind of going to be screwed though.
I really trust that those connections that people make with people older or younger than them through something like sharing stories through D&D, that can have impacts and relationships that go beyond just the party playing a particular campaign about dragons.
Horrible things I would do.
A year after I discovered D&D, my dad died, so I was just going into grade 9 at this point in time, and life went upside down, as it will. So I really don't know where I would have ended up if I had not had my group of friends and being able to escape into D&D every night.
Stab him in there, but before he gets to do that, you get an action. So what would you like to do?
You can.
There you go.
So D&D, lasting for 50 years, just gives a common language that I am taking advantage of all the time.
There are the pros to being able to play in person, being around the table, sort of feeling that energy, but I think we've been able to do a pretty good job replicating it.
I've got a lot out of the community that I've been involved in. Long-term friendships. They're good friends. They're friends that will be there when you need them. But also just the day-to-day living and being out with people and doing something you really enjoy. So it's all been about the social connections.